Okay, welcome everybody. I am so excited about doing this webinar today. I just want everybody to get ready to have your minds blown. Mine certainly was. I'm going to do a little poll real quick. And I would like to know how many of you have ever heard about ChatGPT. Give me, let me know. Oh, we've got some people using it. I will be blowing their minds. Let me know, let me know. Half of you have responded, but the other half needs to respond, so I know what's up. All right, we have about half and half that heard about it or doesn't know about it, but a few of you have actually used it, which is awesome. Maybe half and half here. So this is super fun. So for those that have used it, you know why my mind was blown. And for those of you that haven't, prepare. Mine will be blown about it. Okay, cool. I'm going to get out of here and I am going to actually stop my screen share and just kind of give you guys a little overview. So if you don't know what ChatGPT is, it is this crazy new artificial intelligence that will basically write you anything you want it to write you. It's kind of bananas. And I just read an article. It's funny, I was reading an article in The Atlantic about it, and I was reading the first paragraph and I'm like, okay. And then after the first paragraph, the author said, I didn't write that. ChatGPT wrote that. I asked them to write an article about itself in the style of The Atlantic. And it totally seemed legit. And then I read another article about how it just passed a Wharton MBA exam. So it's a little scary crazy because, you know, AI is getting maybe too smart. I don't know. And we'll all be run by robots soon. I know my kids will definitely want to have them writing their research papers for school, which I'm going to try very hard to keep from happening. But basically, you can ask it to write you anything you want it to write you. It can write you a YouTube script. It can write you a blog post. It can write you an article. And I think a lot of people with KB Core, you know, they want to put more stuff on their website. And they want it to be more robust, but they just aren't good writers or they don't have time to write it. And so really this can write it for you. I was a little concerned when I was doing it about the whole thing with, and I know I've preached this before, how you don't want to copy and paste things, you know, blog posts that are on, like, you know, if you have, what's it called? You know, you have subscribed to some like blogging service and you have that blog and another person has that blog and the blog is everywhere and Google really sees that as, you know, redundant. They don't see it as original content. But with this, I was a little concerned that would be the case, but I actually, I think you can avoid that by giving it a few parameters that, and I actually gave it the same exact ask and it never returned the same thing twice. And it also, you can give it a little bit of, like I said, you could say, write it in the style of, or give it some qualifiers to make it really yours. And I don't think that you're going to have to worry about running into the exact same, you know, redundancy, if that makes sense. So let's do it real quick. I'm going to, I do have, okay. Yeah, I don't think we're going to scratch the surface of this either. It's kind of bananas. Well, I guess I'm too old, but I'm a little blown away by it all. So I'm going to share my screen. And this is ChatGPT. So when you go, you just go to ChatGPT, and it's right here. I'm there at capacity, but I already logged in before. So I kind of got in before they're at capacity. So sometimes they're busy and you have to remember it. So in case this doesn't work, because they are at capacity right now, I did write this. I asked them this earlier. I said, write an article in the style of Living Magazine on the up and coming neighborhoods in Portland, Oregon. And I live here, so I could kind of assess the accuracy of what was happening. And they wrote me a nice article about, you know, several up and coming neighborhoods. And I found it to be pretty dead on. And if you don't like what they say, you can actually ask them to regenerate it and they'll do a whole thing and it'll be totally the same but different, I guess, written differently. So one of the only limitations I've found about this is that it does a disclaimer on this. If you ask it like, give me a current market report for the real estate market in Boise, Idaho, it'll tell you it can't do it because it'll say, I've only been fed information up to 2021. I'm sure going forward, they're going to be adding it 2022 information to its little AI brain and that. But so if you're asking it things that are current, it's not going to work. So if you say, I want the current events happening this weekend in Boise, Idaho, it's going to tell you it can't do it. So those are kind of the limitations on it. And so I don't know if my screen is big enough. Can everybody read what they wrote, or do I need to read it to you? Let me know if you guys can read that. Okay, you can read it. Okay. Unless you're like on a team phone or something. But you can see it's pretty well written actually as well. So I thought if someone wants to shoot me out a market that they're in, let me know where you're at. I can ask them something about your area. Anybody want to tell me where they're from in the chat? Peterborough, Ontario. Okay, let's try it. Write an article about the top reasons to move to Peterborough, Ontario. And here you go. Now, if you think about it, it's telling you all the reasons you want to move there. You could put this as a blog post. You could put this in your area pages, and I'll show you how to do that. In fact, while it's busy writing, I will get my KV Core up and open. So I think I wasn't even in mine. I'll just let you guys read about it. Peterborough, Ontario. And I mean, it actually mentions all these places. Yeah, it's a great tip there, Jennifer, using a call to action or whatnot. Obviously, very accurate, only a point or two are incorrect. Okay, cool. So yeah, so again, you want to make sure anything that they're talking about, music festivals or those kind of things, like maybe they don't have them anymore because like COVID and it's done because it's that 2021 cutoff right now for what that is. But yeah, I'm gonna, oh, there we go. Okay, I got to get into my KV Core. So what else did we have? We had Antioch, California. So let's say, what are the best places for sushi in Antioch, California? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. And again, because it's 2021 info, you might want to make sure these places are still open after, we lost some things with COVID and whatnot. But you let me know, Delisa, if we're looking at some good information for sushi places in Antioch. So I'm going to take I'm gonna take this and put this here real fast. This is my KV Core. But let's say you want to do now a blog post about all the sushi places in Antioch. So what I would do is I would go to Canva and I would get us a picture. I like I like a kind of a square that's going to look good on social media. So I always do a Facebook post, right? Isn't it? I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And you could do a picture of sushi. I mean, you want it to look kind of, whatever. So we could do that. And then you could download it. And this is actually a free one. So if you're in Canva, this is like a professional, you have to pay for this one, but this one's a free one. So you just go to your KB core and you'd say quick actions, blog post. Sushi restaurants to try this weekend in Antioch. And obviously you want to spell things correctly and capitalize them correctly. And then you can put in a picture of your sushi. And then we're going to go back here and just copy and paste this guy. Paste it down. Now, just FYI, you might want to put this actually on a Google Doc first and take the formatting out because you can see how it looks kind of gray behind it. That's one thing to do. The other thing to do is take a little bit of extra time and go to Sushi House. They don't have a, see if they have a website, which maybe this guy doesn't. But let's just say that this was their website. You go in and copy it, copy their website and hyperlink their website. And this is super important because if you're going to be talking about local businesses in your blog posts, you want to link out to those businesses. It tells Google that you're a source of information. So that helps your SEO. It also makes those businesses really happy. So if you were to do this and you were to go through and hyperlink all of these places and publish it, and then you take this guy. So here's your blog. Oh, what happened? I think my thing is kind of messed up. Let me see here. Let me just, why is that happening? My demo account gets used by like 100 people and it's always a little, let's see how it'll work. Facebook. But you go put your link on Facebook. Nope. Everything's really slow right now because I'm zooming and I'm logged into the ChatGPT. But you just put your put this in, and then what you're going to do, it should, yeah. So there's your picture, there that is, and you would say, hey, check out my favorite places for sushi, and then do this, tag some of these places. Try the, let's see what we have to say about this place here. Where did our ChatGPT go? Try the creative roles at Sushi House. Try the creative roles. And then you're going to tag them at Sushi House. And of course, you got to find them. You might have to do a little bit of research to make sure you have the right page. So the way to do that in Facebook is to go and do, make sure you find the right page. It's Sushi House Antioch. And again, this place looks kind of hole in the wall, so it might not. Also, it keeps talking telling me these things because I live in Portland and I should have done something in Portland, but Antioch House, Sushi House. It's not that. You'll want to find it though, and then you can, like, let's say it was this one. You'd see what the picture is and you can tag it. So that's the other thing I do is I kind of find, once you go through, where did they go? Once you go through all these, there might be one or two that when you hyperlink them, you're like, oh, they have a website, and on their website they'll have their Facebook page and you can click in to see kind of what their handle is. So this one kind of looks like maybe it's not, doesn't have much on the internet, but one or two of these other ones might, and you want to just tag them, like try the, try the high quality ingredients at this, or the grilled dishes here, or whatever. And when that happens, the people who follow those pages are going to see your post, and those restaurants are going to be like, oh, that's very cool. They are talking about my business, and they're going to share. A lot of them will just share it to their page or share it as well. And it gets just the ball rolling on, having your things seen. So that's how you would do it if you wanted to do a blog post. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was in your Web and IDX, in your website manager, are your SEO pages. Now, I don't have any in here yet. I'm trying to remember where my MLS is hooked up to because they did it for me. I think it's Virginia. Yeah, it's Virginia. So like, let's say that New Point, Virginia is a place that I cover. Where did it go? New Point. Oh, it saved it. It's just going really slowly because I'm zooming. So it's gonna show up here. And so if you haven't done this before, I highly recommend doing this. New Point, Virginia. So you can ask it, what are the best keyword searches for New Point, Virginia? Right. So you can take these guys, like Virginia, oopsies, or whatever you want, and you can say, actually, I should have done it. Here, let's do this better. What are a few keyword searches? Find real estate information. Virginia. All right, so okay, homes for sale. Oh, it's not gonna let me copy this because let's see if it'll let me copy it while it's doing it. But so you would want to take all of this stuff, like all the stuff it gives you, where am I at here, and put it in your keywords, comma, and you just separate it by commas. And so what you're doing is you're telling Google that these are the keyword searches. So when someone types that in, you're telling them my page has what they're looking for if you type in that stuff. So, you'll just copy and paste them. There's also a couple other sites that you can use that will give you keywords as well. I'm not going to put them all in, but you could put them all in, right? Then what you can do is, what happens is if you save this, you now have a page on your website about New Point, Virginia. It gives you all this stuff, and it breaks it down by neighborhood. Now, this seems to be a very small town, but if you had a bigger town, it would have list all the neighborhoods and all the stuff underneath it. So now you're like, okay, I want to add more to my page. So you could say, top things about, or you could even like write an article in the style of Living Magazine, about living in New Point, Virginia. And it's going to give you a whole thing about, Newport, Virginia. And so I would say that you could take this when it's done, and if you want, you can copy it and you can stick it right in here. And then what it will do is it will show up above here. Maybe I change the colors on my thing because no one can see them. I'm just going to give it a chance to. No, I don't want to do that. Go to my settings. Why is my color not working? People keep messing with my site. Anyway, go back here. All right. So there we go. So we're going to copy this whole thing. And then we're going to go back to KV Core and we're going to go back to our custom page. We're going to save it. Now, when you go there, you might have to flush my cache because I was just there. Give me a sec. There. So now you have that, you have all this stuff about Newport, Virginia or whatever. And you can also, like, if you put it in a Google Doc and change the font or whatever before you put it in here, it'll change what it looks like. But what you've just done is you let Google know that it's got even more, information about Newport. So if you're thinking about, your SEO and people are looking for information about Newport, you're much more likely to send them to this page when you've got all this extra information that Google can find out about Newport, Virginia, plus all of this stats. This is all done for you by KV Core. So those are just kind of a couple of things you can use the ChatGPT for. The other thing you could do is, and I did a whole, how many keywords can you put into KV Core? As many as you want. You just have to do by no spaces in between. I mean, there's spaces in the phrase, but each phrase, no spaces, just a comma. The other thing you can do is last week, I did a thing about doing text landing code pages. And one of the things I was saying was, oh, you can offer a free relocation guide. You're like, I don't have a relocation guide. I don't have the information to make the relocation guide. If you think about all the things in a relocation guide, you could have them totally write it for you. Like you could write, let's see, who else was on here? Elmwood Park, Illinois, Detroit. Let's do Detroit. What are the top neighborhoods to live in Detroit? Right. And that could be you get into Canva. There's all sorts of, presentation things I have in Canva. And you can make a guide. You could do you could do a neighborhood guide. And then you could ask it, what are the best school districts, the top school districts that you want to live in if you move to Detroit? What's the, barriers to moving to Detroit? What jobs are available in Detroit? Like you could ask it all these questions and then fill in your relocation guide that way. So there's all sorts of things you can do with this. I'm pretty blown away by it. Maybe Donald, you can tell me if this is making sense, if this looks correct. Wow. Yeah, I know. The first time I did it, I was like, what? It's pretty crazy. Spot on. Yeah. So, and you could take this and edit it a little bit, but man, it's giving you 80% of the stuff really that you want to do. And you could even say, trying to think what else is in a relocation guide, but industries and what are the best parks in Detroit? and it's just going to tell you all about it. So anyway, that I really wanted to show this to you guys because I thought this is a great source for you to do that. And also the other thing I wanted to say about the oh, if you're doing any kind of YouTube videos, this is great too. It will write your script for you. Like, write me a YouTube video script on why it's important to get pre-approved. Write me a YouTube video script on why you should move to my, area that I live in. Think about all the neighborhoods. Like, this is giving you all the parks. So maybe you do a video on every single park, or about the parks in Detroit. Maybe you do a video about, all the sushi places in it. Like, you could ask it to write me a YouTube script about living in I'm just going to use one here, the St. John's neighborhood of Portland. Right, not Portland, although Portland. Opening shot, beautiful tree line street in St. John's, la 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 la. Right, so you could go take your you can take your selfie stick, right? And you start out in St. John's, then you go over to the coffee shop, then you go to the farmer's market and you say that. I mean, it's going to give you the whole script. Then you have information about that. If you did that, you could put that on a page, an area page. You could put the video on the area page. I mean, it's kind of bananas. Hardest part is getting the framework. Exactly. So like, that's just what Jennifer's saying. Like, yeah, there might be an inaccuracy here or there, but it's doing 80% of the work for you, which makes it so much easier for you. I know, isn't it crazy? It makes it so much easier for you to go ahead and create that content and get it out there, and just really make things robust. And then so what you could do is you could make this video, put it out on YouTube, and then in your YouTube description, put in the links to your website, put in the links to the search squeeze page for St. John's neighborhood. You could tag some of the businesses you were in. All that stuff is going to really help grow kind of your online presence. So yeah, I can't believe you did. I'm still kind of blown away by it, even though I played with it all weekend long in preparation for this. So does anybody have any questions about how to use this, or, how to use it in conjunction with your KB core site or anything of that nature? I'm happy to answer those first, and then we can go to general questions after that. Anybody? Questions? No? Okay. Well, then how about questions in general? It can be about anything KB core related. I'm happy to answer. Can you show how to tag in Facebook? Lisa, are you talking about that? Are you talking about in your blog? Yes. Okay. So for instance, let's see. So if you're in, let's go back to the sushi place. Let me see if I can get this here to come up. I don't know why my site isn't working the way I want it to. There it is. Okay, now it's working. So like, let's say, let's take sushi, sake sushi and grill. Let's try that one. Antioch, California. Okay, let's see if we can find, there it is. So there's their website, and usually on their website, if they don't, little buggers, they usually have their Facebook. Let's try a different one. This is kind of a bad, I guess the sushi people aren't They just aren't very good at putting their stuff up. Yeah, let's see that. Oh, it's Chicago. TripAdvisor. Dang it. Let's try, what's a good one? This is where we went. This is where we went to dinner the other night. So let's say you tagged this house, this one in one of your blogs. You see how usually they have like Facebook on there. And so just find out what their handle is. Their handle is always what's at the end of Facebook. So 1933 Tap Room is there. So if I was on Facebook, I would, try a burger at 1933 Tap Room. See right there? And now I've tagged them so that when Heather, when I'll post this really fast and I'll take it down because it's just whatever. See it, but you see that so people could then click on this and go to their site, and whoever follows them is going to see that too. Like if they follow that and I'm tagging them, then people who don't follow your page but follow their page are going to see this in their feed. I'm going to delete it real fast though because it's not right. I want to delete this. Oops, trash. If that makes sense, but that's how you would tag, and you definitely want to tag as many businesses as you can, because they love that. They love that other people are talking about their business. It really helps them. Is ChatGPT an open free? It is open and it is free to use. You do have to sign up with your email. But it also, just FYI, it's down a lot because of the immense traffic it's getting lately. Okay. Anybody else have questions? I mean, I could sit here all day and just ask it stuff. Anybody else or questions about anything at all? Okay. Well, I hope you guys are excited as I am about it, although a little scared about what this means for the future of humanity. But I think it's a really cool thing, and like Jennifer was saying, it gives you 80%. 80% of the work is done for you, basically. And then you can make tweaks and you can use it as you like and put it different places. But you can, big step towards getting all your stuff done and really fleshing out your website and your social media presence and all that good stuff. I mean, it'll write Instagram posts for you. Write me an Instagram post about XYZ. I mean, it'll do that too. It's kind of bananas. Okay, well, am I on every Wednesday? Unless I'm on vacation, I have the Wednesday meetups. I guess I didn't even talk about that at the beginning, which I should have done. Let's do that. So if you want to attend these live, go ahead and just scan that QR code. But we do these success meetups every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And they're 11:30 Pacific to 2:30 Eastern, and in between depending on your time zone. But I do the Wednesday ones, which is usually something a little bit outside of KV Core, like bringing in a different tool like ChatGPT or whatever it might be, Canva, to kind of show you how to enhance your KV Core experience. And then usually the Tuesday and Thursday sessions are run by our trainers, and they're just giving you really great best practices, tips and tricks, and things you can do to use your KV Core platform. It's mostly inside the platform stuff. And if you go to our Inside Real Estate page on YouTube and go to our playlists, and I'll put this in the chat. Or is it the full playlist? This is a playlist of all of our past ones. And there's something else I was going to say. But yeah, that's what you want to do if you want to come see these live. And if you're watching this on YouTube later, because I will post this always to YouTube after, come see us live, and then you can ask any questions you want at the end and whatnot. So yeah, if anyone doesn't have any more questions, then I will let you all go. But I had a lot of fun too, and see you next week, everybody.